Gotta get that pussy right.
All right, cool.
1, 2.
My neck, my back, my pussy and my crack. My neck, my back, my pussy and my crack. My neck, my back, lick my pussy and my crack. My neck, my back, lick my pussy and my crack. My neck, my back, my pussy and my crack. My neck, my back.
Just like that, ladies and gentlemen, this episode is brought to you by Chocolate Chip and Sip Live, May 20th at Clementine's Urban Bistro. We want to see you there. Get your tickets over at eventbrite.com. Also, if you are listening on Apple Podcasts, make sure you guys leave us a 5-star review. We love you all. Now let's get to the show. Woo! What's up, beautiful people? It is your baby mama, favorite baby mama, Stormy P, and this is another episode of Chocolate Chip and Sip, the modern day female perspective. Damn, son, back at it again. And we playing with the home team today, ladies and gentlemen. We got Danny D. Kane in the building. Hi. We got Kev the Kid in the building. And today, we have a very special guest, all right? We have the snapper of necks. Casher of checks, taker of bitches.
All day.
Dave Anderson, first of his name, the business bully, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. Thank you. Rousing intro, my
Thank
squire.
you. Thank you.
Love that. I'm ready to joust right now. I come equipped with my own pole, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Dave, I'm so happy to have you here.
Listen, I'm happy to be here. I love this show. I don't get to cut loose too often, so I'm happy.
Yes. Would you like to tell those who may not somehow know of you because they're hiding under a rock?
Nah, I mean, there's a couple of people in like Fayetteville, North Carolina who don't know me.
Okay, why would you come? What did Fayetteville do to you?
I was the afternoon DJ there 22 years ago.
Oh my God.
Shout out to everybody at Foxy 99. Listen, I'm Dave Anderson, radio TV personality, 21-time best-selling author, business coach, serial entrepreneur, podcast creator, all around ass kicker. And above all else, I think I'm a pretty decent guy.
You think that?
I think so.
It's funny because you are the business bully.
Yeah, that's true.
Bullies usually aren't decent people. So explain that to me.
Acronym: Black, unapologetically living and loving yourself. Bully.
I thought it was just because you took what you want.
I mean, I am, and I have. I always listen. When I was a much younger man, after I stopped wrestling, right, I saw Triple H, and he said the thing about fans is that they think that they're getting what they want, and sometimes we'll give it to them, but we're still going to get our agenda done. True. So if my plan is to take your shit, I'm going to take your shit. I'm going to make you feel like you won, but eventually I'm going to get your shit.
Funny thing is, I didn't even know you were a wrestler.
A lot of people, I have had a lot of careers.
Dan?
Wait, do you know James Morrison? J.J. Dillon?
Do I know J.J. Dillon? We've met. I wouldn't say I know him.
Oh, okay. We got to talk afterwards, though.
Oh, my
I know
God.
him. He's a personal friend, so.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's absolutely dope.
Is that a wrestler?
Yeah, he was the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse's manager.
I don't know any of those people.
Yes, you do. You know who Ric Flair is?
Woo!
Woo! Leader of Four Horsemen.
I didn't know he was in a group.
No. Ric Flair built a stable. He wasn't in a group. Okay, he's not Kelly Rowland. He's Ric fucking Flair.
Okay. See, I didn't know. So you learn something new every day. Okay, that's okay. I learned.
You're gonna get there, Stormy. It's all right.
So I'm just honestly going to jump right in with some things. There's something that you brought to my attention this past week. You recommended a great show called Stuck.
Yeah.
Could you tell the people a little bit about what Stuck is?
All right, so Stuck is this show, right? And I'm fascinated with two types of shows because I don't want to think when I watch TV because I think for a living. Stuck is a show where people come into this emergency room with objects stuck in some orifice of their body. Yeah, and they document how they get it out, and then they give you like a post-game report of how they've gone and done it.
Y'all, I finished this season in one day.
Yeah.
Finished the whole season in one day.
There's nothing else you can do. You might as well just pack your lunch and just take off.
Just
you got
sit.
some PTO, just go on at it.
Get it done. So I wanted to ask the room, have you guys ever like been impaled by anything, or have you had anything stuck in you? Like,
oh, I was impaled by something last night.
Yo, come on,
Pause. Hey.
And here we are 5 minutes in, already into butt stuff. I love it here. I love it here. I love it here.
Is that your thing? Are you into the butt?
He is not. He's into a good joke, and that's why I love him.
Listen, I'm not judging. Samuel made a whole hit off of that.
Who?
You never heard that song?
No.
What in the butt?
Oh my God.
But I said what? And the bad thing is he looks like the guy that was on Grey's Anatomy, the guy who was in Love Jones, who got fired. You know, the black guy. He looks just like that dude. Isaiah Washington looks just like Isaiah Washington.
That's not who I was thinking of. I was thinking of the light-skinned guy with the gray eyes. What's his name?
Michael Ealy?
No. The other one. Jesse
Williams?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Listen, we gotta.
So automatically, the dudes who would sing "What in the Butt" got to be light skinned. You have a colorism problem, Stormy.
I didn't say that. You did.
Okay.
Kevin, you ever been impaled by anything?
Only Dan.
What? Come on, your mic wasn't on. Your mic not even on.
Dan, how dare you?
It's still not on.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not on.
Dan?
This is a further issue.
Oh, damn.
Fun. Okay.
Okay. Looks like Kevin
figure that out.
is not allowed to be in the conversation today.
I guess I'm not talking.
So, Dave, you ever been like impaled or anything? Had anything stuck?
I had an earwig.
What's the earwig?
In my ear when I was 7 years old. It's a bug that likes to nest in the ear canal, just right above the eardrum.
Is that like an earworm?
Kind of. It's like a big ass bug, almost like a roach. It's disgusting. It's like wormy and like it's disgusting.
Is that where like if you get a song stuck in your head, they say you have an earworm? Is that where that's from?
I have no idea.
Oh.
These are all new things for me.
Okay.
I don't actually know everything. I just know everything about the shit I care about. Like I'm kind of like a provisional genius. I don't really care about the shit I don't care about, so I don't know that shit. It's kind of how it works.
Well, watching the show, there was a young lady who got a 8-inch vibrator stuck in her anal canal,
right up her ass.
And it was like, when she described it, it didn't really make sense of how it went up there. But the doctors then explained that like you kind of have two sphincters. You have one on the outside and one on the inside.
Right. You got a sucker and a blower.
And the sucker took it. Exactly. But it reminded me of I got a butt plug stuck in my butt once.
How big was the butt plug?
It was the large size. It was like the largest in the training set.
What?
Yes.
The funny thing is, the man was more scared than I was.
You loved it.
I didn't love it. I just was like, oh, this is so inconvenient. Like I wasn't scared or anything. I was just like, this is so inconvenient.
How'd you get it out?
Well, I thought he was going to do the gentleman thing and like at least attempt to fake me out like he wanted to try to get it out. He literally stuck like the tip of his finger in and said, I can't do it. I can't do it. And I was like, why? It wasn't because it was like, oh my God, it's a bite. It was like, I don't want to push it further in there.
He didn't want to hurt you. See, that was what happened to that guy?
He had a girlfriend.
That's never stopped you before.
I told you I went to therapy, okay? I got it together now.
I'm so sick of you people using mental health advocacy as an excuse for your whole shit. Like, I don't do that anymore. That's in the past. Last week.
Hey, no. I ain't did no trifling hoe shit in like 2 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But no, long story short, I went to the bathroom and pooped it out. I like stuck my finger in there and like hooked it around my finger and then I pooped it out.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I wipe my fucking ass?
Who was that?
Jesse or Dom, I forget which. But
I don't even remember talking about that. Oh my God. So we were talking about an interesting conversation, and it was sexual objects versus
success objects.
Talk to me a little bit about that.
All right, so I live in a world that actually exists. I don't live in the world that people like to pretend exists, like we're all good, normal human beings. No, we're all pieces of shit with agendas. And the sooner we wrap our heads around that, the easier it'll be, right? No man in the history of mandom has ever looked at a woman and said, oh my God, look at the morals on that girl. I said, damn, that girl looks like she reads the shit out of her Bible. Like, that's not what happens, right? Our main thing in the world is physical first, right? And then it comes down to, can you hold a conversation? Can you cook my meals? Can you provide for me? Can you nurture me in a way and give me peace and support while I'm going out here doing the things?
Right.
That's how women are looked at. Women are looked at as sex objects first. Period.
Agreed.
Nobody has any objection to that. Now here, fellas, I want y'all to pay attention to the look in her face when I say what I'm about to say.
It's this one.
Is this one?
It's this one.
Is this the one right here? This the one?
Yeah.
All right. I want y'all to pay attention to the look on her face when I say what I'm about to say, Stormy.
Okay.
By that same token, women look at men as success objects.
Agreed.
Meaning that for those of you at home who haven't caught this, because you might just be a knuckle dragging mouth breather, that if you're a man and you're not like, women and puppies are loved unconditionally. Children are loved unconditionally.
Mm-hmm.
Men are only loved to the extent of what they can provide.
If they're under 6 foot.
I'm 6'2", so
Yeah, so the ones that are under 6 foot are looked at like that. If you're over 6 foot, especially over 6'2", women tend to squint a little bit to see what they want to see.
It's a squint.
It's a squint.
I will tell you this: I have been broke, and I have done well for myself. And I will tell you, doing well for yourself attracts a different level of.
This is true.
I ain't never had a problem taking a bitch, but I'm just saying.
I told y'all, taker of bitches,
All
first
day.
of his name.
Listen, the squire has spoken. But that's the thing. Women try to act like, oh no, it's love and it's care. Do you realize that men have most of the heart attacks? Men do most of the have the highest suicide rates of like 75-80%. All of that is because they have this need to provide. And even if you come across like you're a good, sweet girl, ain't no dude knowing good and hell well that at any minute somebody else with more could come along and take you. There's a constant state of stress that we're under. Like Chris Brown said, when a rich nigga wants you and you can't do nothing for you.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because I saw a post a couple days ago, and it was like, we need to change the narrative that broke men don't deserve to be loved. Like,
they deserve to be loved, but by mediocre women.
And this is what I wanted to say. I agree with you 1000%, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like, especially in our community, the successful women rate is higher than men.
Yeah, but you also got to take it like this is the bullshit. If we're gonna have this conversation, let's have a conversation.
Let's have a conversation.
All
Let's
right?
break it down.
If 1 out of 3 of me is going to do prison time, right, and you are facilitated to make sure that you get an educational track, you're facilitated to get more cushy jobs, because let's face it, women only talk about inequality when it comes to things that benefit men. They don't talk about inequality for things that draw men back. Like, there's no long line of women protesting outside of construction sites like, hell no, let us in, we will build some shit again. Fuck out of here. It is only when you, like, women don't want equality. Women want male privilege along with their feminine privilege.
Talk to me about that.
All right, so for example, like I said, there's nobody talking about construction sites. Like, here's the thing. It is not anything other than a fact to say that most things that have made the world great were built by men. Just like it's not dissing men to say every human being on earth came through the vagina or the stomach of a woman. Those are just the numbers, right? But the thing of it is, women want to do all of the good stuff and none of the bad stuff. There's a level of a lack of accountability.
But I think that comes from women have to deal with so much of the bad stuff. It's like, damn, the least y'all can do is let us have this.
Like what?
First of all, why are we giving condoms for free, right? But we have to pay extra for pink razors. We have to pay extra for, why don't we get the birth control that we want for free? Like, you know what I mean?
You get every fucking thing for free.
No, we don't.
I just have a question for you. How many times have you gone to Steak 48? And out of those times, how many times have you paid?
You know what? That's neither here nor there, but I think we need to stay on topic.
When
Okay?
Dave Anderson pulls out his magical bag of facts, now all of a sudden it don't matter. Right?
That's ignorant. That's ignorant.
I'm just saying, like, you get every fucking thing for free. I think you
Okay.
can spring for some fucking razors.
Okay, you know what, though? I feel like men get a lot of stuff for free, too, especially depending on how good your dick is. Even if you don't have enough money, or even if you aren't financially where you want to be. If your dick is good enough, you can get a lot of shit for free.
I don't know. I'm not a Pookie or Lamondre. Like, I have good dick, and I'm a genius, and I'm rich. So, like, for me, I can't relate to that whole thing where I gotta dick a bitch down in order to sit on her couch all day and play Xbox while she goes to work, and then I'm gonna drop her off in her car at her job while I drive her car around.
Jodies is a real thing. Like the Jody persona is a real
here's
thing.
The thing that here's the problem with the lack of accountability when it comes to women. Why is it that your species as a whole, not all of you, because I know y'all love to be the not all police. Why is it that y'all can't say that we allow Jodies to exist? Men do what gets them ass. Period. If all of you, I had a good friend named James Hanna. He would say, if all of you got together and said, you know what we want? We want dudes with Prince Ruffly shirts and a fucking peg leg. We want a whole fucking pirate motif. Every PetSmart would be out of parrots the next day. They'd be walking up to you with planks talking about shiver me timbers, bitch. Like, that's just what it is. We do what gets us fucked. And if what's getting us fucked is just being able to give you good dick and make you feel important, yeah, baby, that's cool. Also, the majority, and studies have shown that the majority of women who are so-called successful do not want a man who has equal or higher intelligence. They say that they do, but they don't, because they love the ability to control somebody who is a lesser being, because you can compartmentalize them. You can't control somebody like me. I don't need you.
I think that when you were going back to when you were saying if we all stood together and was like, yo, this is what we want. The hard part is, like you said, we're already short staffed. Like already one of 3 is going to be unavailable because they're going to be in jail. The second of that 3 is probably already married, and probably, if depending on how successful they are, not to somebody black. Like, we don't have that much, so we be kind of clinging and scrapping a little bit.
The problem here is this is another woman thing. Y'all love to talk about your feelings as if they're facts. You're entitled to your own opinions. You're not entitled to your own facts. The fact of the matter is 85% of all black men who are gainfully employed and married are married to black women.
Kevin, Dan, I'm gonna need y'all to run them stats for me. I need to know the answer to that.
Feel free.
Please. And it's really going to be funny because they're both white and their search history is about to look crazy.
90
already looks horrible, so let's not even
listen. So the whole, black men don't marry black women shit is horse shit. The problem is that 80% of you want the top 10% of us.
I agree with that 1,000%. 1,000%.
And then my whole thing is, what are you doing to help me build my shit? What makes you the person that I'm going to choose when I can choose anybody?
It's hard because it's a little bit of entitlement, because it's like, I am of this stature, and I'm not talking about me personally, but I'm talking about these women are of this stature, and they have these certain accolades, and they have these things going for themselves and businesses and all this other stuff. But then the top 10% is going to choose an IG model, or somebody who just has a body, or who doesn't really have all that I may have to offer, or who may be, even a little bit, I won't say more attractive, but definitely younger. So it's hard because it's like a battlefield.
Oh, I'm so sorry that you have to battle it out with the top 10% of men. Listen, do you understand what it means to be a 1%er in America?
Yeah.
Do you know how much money you have to be a 1%er in America?
Yeah, I absolutely do.
How much?
More than I could ever fathom.
No, $441,000.
I don't think so.
I'm not going to argue with you.
Really?
You do realize I'm a numbers guy, right?
Really?
Yeah.
I would assume it was higher than that.
You would, because you don't do the numbers. It's a feeling for you. The top 1% of Americans who are high earners, the bottom part of that 1%, $441,000.
I think really it comes down to when I get that feeling.
You want sexual healing?
I need a sexual healing. So sometimes that affects how I get to certain facts.
Because it makes you feel so fine. It's such a rush. Helps to relieve your mind.
See,
it's
come
good
on,
for
somebody.
us.
Amen. Amen.
Got sick this morning.
Oh my God. Dan.
Yes.
Do you have an answer?
So the numbers that Dave put out are correct, but when looked at a male versus female of blacks marrying outside the race, men are twice as likely as black women to marry. So it looks like there's that huge disparity when really it's not that much.
Okay. Why do you think it visually seems that way?
It seems that way because you allow other people to control your narrative.
I don't think so. I think we see what we see.
You see what you see, but that is being manipulated by people like Andy Cohen, people like
I don't watch that. I don't know what he does.
Andy Cohen does Housewives.
Yeah, I don't watch that franchise.
Yeah, I know you don't, but too many of you do.
Okay.
Because it's like the number one
it.
show in
Got
black households. And then, you know, you've got Harvey Levin over at TMZ. You've got all of these people controlling what we look like, who are not people who look like us. Therefore, you buy into that, and then they give you these stats that are older than like my 10th grade year in high school.
Okay, you know what?
Then y'all run with it. Oh, they all gay or in jail, bitch. No, we're not. We just not checking for you. And here's the other thing about that. There's this thing. There was this show called What Would You Do with John Quinones or whatever the hell his name is on ABC, and he sat down with these sisters, these black women, and they were considered successful. One was a high school guidance counselor making $36,000 a year. If I made $36,000 a year, I'm jumping off the roof. But she had all the attitude about, well, black men they're intimidated by me. Nobody's intimidated by a broad who makes $36,000 a year. Calm down, Khadijah.
Hey, you don't call her Khadijah.
That was her name.
Oh, god damn, Khadijah, you just fuck.
See how they try to get me? Fuck. That's why I'm happy it's white people in the room. That way I can't get killed. Right?
I wanted to talk about a hot take for a second.
Sure.
And let me know if you agree or disagree.
Sure.
Right? I think that a majority of men, well, okay. When I hear people talk, when men say like, I don't cheat on my girl or I won't cheat on my girl, a lot of times I don't hear them say because I love her so much. A lot of times I hear because I know she going X, Y, and Z.
Right.
Right. So I was in a relationship where I didn't want to cheat on that person because I loved them so much. And it made me realize maybe I've never been in love until this point. Right.
Right.
So the men who have this sentiment of I don't want to cheat because I know my girl gonna blah, 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 instead of I just love my girl so much. Do you think they really love their girl?
Yes.
Or do you think they're just settling?
Men do not love like women love. You love with your heart because you've been conditioned by Disney and Aesop and all the fucking fairy tales to tell you that you're supposed to live happily ever after.
Because I am. That's what I deserve, Dave.
Yeah, but nobody tells you about the part where Cinderella had to clean the goddamn castle.
They did.
And
That's
that's,
what
the
they
problem.
started with.
No, and they lived happily ever after. And Cinderella had to clean that goddamn castle.
No, she didn't.
You don't know that.
He had maids and servants already.
What were their names?
Khadijah.
I love it. But no, that's the thing. We love differently. We love with logic, right? When we make decisions, you got to remember and this is social Darwinism. We're looking for somebody that can bear our children, raise them right, provide what we can't get. I can get a hoe anywhere. I can't get my wife everywhere.
Now, this brings me to my next point, right? Why does that not apply to when it comes to cheating on your fucking barber? I know so many men who have cheated on their woman but will not cheat on their barber.
First of all, let me tell you something. The barber be knowing.
Yo, get the fuck out. This is what I'm talking about. This right here is what I'm talking about.
The barber be knowing. First of all, Ace is my barber. Shout out to my man Ace. And like, there's no way, because Ace be like,
that's what women do. They
be like, hey dog, who the fuck did this?
And women,
why didn't you call me? What happened?
Women will do the same thing. You come in the house, you smell funny.
But here's the problem with y'all. You treat relationships like marriages and then treat marriages like relationships. So you've been in 13 marriages before you get married. And now you want to get married, not because it's time for you to get married or this person is the one, but because of the imaginary biological clock and your friend's timeline that they put on you, because now it's a social contest. That's why every time one of you gets engaged, you do this the whole fucking time. It is not about your love. It's about how many carats. And you don't even realize that you've been manipulated for the past 115 years behind something that's absolutely worthless. The diamond engagement ring is a concept and a construct that was created by De Beers in order to sell worthless pieces of carbon.
Yeah.
Because before 1920, there were emerald engagement rings, pearl engagement rings. Diamonds was least on the list. Diamond is the least mentioned gemstone in the Bible. Let that sink in.
What was the barge? What did you call him?
De Beers, not the bars. Don't do that to El.
Barge. Them.
Yo, funny story about El DeBarge. Like, I'm going somewhere with this.
What?
I asked El DeBarge. I said, El DeBarge, you're Chico DeBarge's older brother.
Yeah.
You had a drug problem. He said, yeah. I said, why didn't you tell your little brother
not to do drugs?
He said, no, see, you got to understand. he does pills and stuff. I did coke. I didn't know nothing about that. I swear to God, I will get you the clip. I want you to edit it in. I have this on tape right now. I will get you the clip. I will edit it in. I swear to God, that's what he said.
And you know what's crazy? He meant that.
He meant that shit.
In his heart and soul. Like, he was genuine when he said that shit.
Yeah, and El DeBarge got 11 kids. So getting back to the point.
Okay, so the DeBarges and them, right?
The Beers.
They actually did a campaign for women to buy their men rings, and it did not fucking take off.
Yeah, because ain't nobody going to do that shit because you're entitled. You want everything handed to you. You don't want to have to do anything. Like I said, how many times have you paid at stake 48?
Okay, right. Hear me out, though. Right?
Here comes the bullshit.
No.
Darling.
I am not one of those girls.
Didn't say you were.
I realize that I'm a minority, but if I do like you, I will trick on you. Like, I like that. Like, I'll do that for you. Like, if I'm doing that for you, it means I like you.
Yeah.
What?
Okay. No, I just think, like, honestly, though, you have the option of, if I like you, I can do that.
Where men have to.
Right. I mean, y'all have foodie calls. And I know you've done it. All of you have done it. I have not met a woman yet who hasn't done it. Where if you just get hungry one day, you'll say yes to something you have absolutely no interest, no sexual desire. He does not make your cooch do.
What is it again? Okay, thank you.
I just want to make sure you got that. Record that. Put that in some Clavio.
Yep, that's a clip. Thank you.
Need that right there. So, like, that's the thing. We have to do that, right? There have been songs from the beginning of my life. Ain't nothing going on but the rent. You got to have a J-O-B if you want to be with me. Listen, it's amazing how when people meet me, you know, like, I have no interest, but when people meet you, like, oh, okay, good, cool. And then somebody does a Google search or sends them a text or something, and all of a sudden, the whole vibe changes.
Really?
Yeah. Because of what I got or what they perceive that I have. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's how you're wired. Like, our songs are different. Our songs are like, I like bad bitches. That's my fucking problem. And yeah, I like the fuck. I got a fucking problem. You want to know why? Because men are visual and women are financial. You love success. That's why there's never been an NBA game without bad bitches in the stands. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
I thought this TED Talk ended 20 minutes ago, first of all. This is a new TED Talk.
Always. I got 1 million of them.
Oh, my God.
While you're clapping your ass wrong and 3 easy steps on how to fix it.
I like to take that class.
Listen, I'm here to teach. You know, I'm a professor at Temple University. We can, you know.
I just don't understand. I'm sorry, Dan. Did you have something?
No, I was just gonna make some comment about him teaching us tonight. It's past. It's just
The ship still. Don't worry. We still got time.
So going back to women.
Yes. I've only been to women. I have no need to go back. I'm still there.
So I feel like a lot of my friends are entering that time clock.
See?
That we were talking about. They're entering that time where they
Final
feel like they're
Jeopardy
about to,
before they hit the wall.
Yeah. So one of my friends told me a few weeks ago, like, yo, if I'm not married by 35, I'm just chalking it, right? But I asked her, I said, well, what are some things that you're doing to prepare yourself for that or to meet that person? And she honestly was like, bitch, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't doing shit. I'm just saying, if it don't happen, it don't happen.
Period.
And I'm like, huh? So from a married perspective and from a man who has such knowledge, like, what do you suggest? Like, what do you think women should be doing if they're like, yo?
Be, 3 words, be fucking accountable. Like, there's things about, I know no one wants to hear this, and I apologize in advance, ladies, because I'm about to trigger 95% of you. You're not fucking perfect. You can be wrong. And there are things that you can do better. Listen, as a person who used to be 561 pounds, who is no longer 561 pounds, there's something to be said for going to the gym. Get your ass up, right? Playing Brian McKnight on repeat and having a pint of Haagen-Dazs to get over Lamondre because he had good dick but not a brain.
What did Lamondre do to you? Because you keep talking about Lamondre.
I made up a character named Lamondre. I have never actually met a person named Lamondre. So if you are Lamondre, I apologize. I ain't never met you. This is no beef. It's just a name I made up one day to describe a deplorable ass nigga that does nothing but play Xbox, fuck bitches, to drive their car.
Yes.
And then, you know, once you're done, like, the problem, y'all treat your pussies like Afghanistan.
Which means?
Once it gets bombed out and depleted, then you want somebody to come in and fix it. You want a Joe Biden at that point.
Okay, you know what? Go back to what you were saying and what women can do, be accountable, and what else.
I'm saying stop giving your pussy out to Pookie, Ray Ray, Earl, and Lamondre. See, you don't understand. Like, here's the thing. If I said to you, Stormy, we can go to the dealership right now. You can pick out whatever you want. Are you going to pick out a Yugo with like 200,000 miles on it?
I'm going to pick out a punch buggy.
With how many miles on it?
With as many as needed. I want the lime green one with the sunflower in the middle.
The lime green punch buggy with the sunflower in the middle. You know this. You know you want the shitload mileage, but you don't want to cop to it. Because, listen, and I'm not saying that y'all don't have some quality pre-owned pussies out here. Mm-hmm. What I am saying is some of y'all have a whole lot of justifications for your behaviors, and that is a big part of, like, nobody wants something that everybody else has had.
That's
like,
true.
I know girls who were the set-out chick.
What does that mean?
That's the girl that, you know, if you're not smashing, you know, like that's the one that, you know, you put out. Like that's the one that'll, you know, take one for the team. That's the set out chick. You know, there's one in your crew. Everybody has one. And then she gets married and everybody's looking at her like, you married that? It's the set out chick. Like this, I had a whole phase. Yeah, cool. Great. Yeah, nah.
I think every woman, okay, you know what? I think everyone should have a whole phase, but I don't think it should be titled a whole phase. I think everyone should have a period of dating where they learn what they like and what they don't like, because that's how you have these marriages where 5 years in, you realize you really not satisfied with the dick, or you really don't like the way he communicates to you, or you really don't like his love language. Y'all's don't like, you're not compatible. I feel like if you don't have a solid dating scene where you discover yourself, it's like a one-way track to like divorce.
Yeah, that's different. I'm talking about the ones that wind up and populate 25 seasons of Maury Povich with You Are Not the Father. That's not a whole phase. That's you understanding and discovering yourself, and not everybody knows everybody you fucked.
Okay.
But when somebody comes on Maury 17 times, this is Shaniqua. Shaniqua is back for the 15th time. Give it up to people like, oh, damn, yeah, last time I was a guest in the Maury show, your ass was here, Shaniqua. And then Shaniqua still is trying to find her father for this one kid. How many dudes, you know, there's only a 2-day window for a woman to get pregnant. How many dudes did you fuck? Where so you don't know. Now we're testing the 7th dude? That's what I'm talking about. And I hate to break it to you. You guys judge yourself by the best of you instead of realizing that the least of you and the worst of you is what's really out there 9 times out of 10. Like, let's start realizing that the exceptions are exceptional. That's where the term comes from. Set apart from everyone else. Exceptional. Meaning that the norm is trashy, slutty, lamandre, fucking Xbox, love playing women. And that's when you have to start saying, you know what? Maybe I need to go around a different class of guy. Maybe I need to read something else than what I'm reading. Maybe I need to consume something other than love and hip hop, Real Women Atlanta, or whatever the fuck, Housewives, or whatever the fuck it is, and start putting yourself in a position to attract the things that you want and repel the things that you don't.
So how does one do that? Because I feel like even if you say I have to start dating or entertaining a different class of guy, right?
Right.
There still has to be some type of core beliefs and core values that you guys share. And it's like, you're not always going to run into the fine nigga at Barnes and Noble.
See, but the thing of it is, again, you're doing it wrong. We look for the fine motherfuckers, right? You should be looking for someone who can elevate you. You and I are friends. You and I are partners. There's certain things that you and I talk about offline when nobody's around, where I say to you, listen, you need to do this, this, and that, and you know why I'm saying that.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Most people do not want to put themselves in a different position. If your man can't elevate you intellectually, financially, spiritually, emotionally, then that's a problem. Anybody with a dick can learn rhythm. But not everybody with a dick can bring you millions. Not everybody with a dick can help you.
I know, that's right. Come on, dude.
Like, help you grow, right? And then the other part of that is you fuck around and do not pay attention. You need to treat the way that you socialize your daughters differently, right?
Agree. And I don't even have a daughter.
I have 2 daughters, but I tell them straight up and down, listen, say what you want. But all these dudes that you like, these idiots are the ones that peak in high school and wind up selling shoes.
Ooh, but it's women that do that too.
Oh, I'm not saying that there's not, but
Okay.
I'm talking about women who need to find good men. And I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to give you the game to get the man ahead of time before he becomes iconic.
I want to go back a little bit when you talk about how we socialize and raise our daughters. How do you feel on I'm going to say what I think it is. I feel like this generation is over sexualizing their daughters. with the way they dress, what they're exposed to. Like, why can't we let kids be kids for a second? Like, can we bring back the baldies and the beads and the hair and shit? Like, kids got the rest of their lives to be adults. And it kind of goes to the same thing for my son. Like, I don't put my son in certain labels and certain designers and bring him around certain shit. Because it's like, dog, he got the rest of his life to do that. Why am I dressing him like a drug dealer that broke my heart in fucking 2017? I don't want to do that. Why are we doing that?
How did you give the drug dealer your heart in the first place to break? But there's a whole other side. So, my question is this. Do you know who Dikembe Mutombo is?
Yeah.
You know what he says?
Don't tell me. When he blocks the shots, right?
Yeah.
Not in my house.
Not in my house. I got 2 daughters, not in my house. I'll tell you that right the fuck now. The thing of it is, you got to start telling them what they need to know, not what they want to hear, right? Because you're fighting not only their peer group, but you're fighting society telling them that they need to have this, that, and the third. But my whole thing is, do you know where the next crop of millionaires and billionaires are? Do you know where they are?
No.
They're the bookworms in the back of the class that are too shy.
I agree.
They're the uncoordinated kids in gym. They're the kids that don't get picked first for kickball or football or basketball. You know what I'm saying? But you know who that kid was? My black ass. And you know what the captain of the football team does right now? He works the night shift at McDonald's.
You saw him?
Yeah, I saw him. When I came back, I'll never forget this. I came back like the year the 300 came out. The year the 300 came out, I came to the airport. I flew in. I went to go see my grandma, right? And I went to the McDonald's. It's a daycare now, but there used to be a McDonald's on like Old York Road, like right off of Church Lane. You know,
yes,
but now it's
I do.
daycare.
Yeah.
And I drove up, and he was like, "Dave Anderson, is that you?" I said, "Yeah." He's like, I went to elementary school. I mean, I always knew you was gonna make it, man. Even in high school, I knew you was gonna make it. And I was like, no, you didn't. But that's all good,
Can
man.
I just ask you a question real fast?
Yeah.
How does that make you feel? Because I don't feel like I've made it, right? But people are telling me like, yo, I just always knew you was going to do something. Like, I always knew like you was going to be this. I was do that. And I'm like, I don't think I'm there yet. But
You're not.
okay.
Because here's the thing. You want more.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm not speaking for you, but I imagine if you look at me, you think, yo, like that's a level I'd love to get to.
Yeah.
Right? To me, my level ain't shit.
So
That's
who's your Dave Anderson?
Dave Anderson in 20 years. Because like here's the thing, like when I started speaking my truth and realizing that me not giving a fuck was going to propel me, all of a sudden people were like, you're the black Gary Vee, and I was like, who the fuck is Gary Vee?
Who's Gary Vee?
Gary Vee is he's investor in Twitter and other things. He's a real good friend of mine. But the thing of it is, I don't want to be anybody's black derivative. I just want to be the best me.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And so the thing of it is, you got to just put yourself in a position to say that this is what it is. But when people say, I want, you made it, this, that, and the third, because they can never get beyond that. So you're a pinnacle to them, right? But you see something beyond where you are right now. Most people don't. So that's why most people wind up in cubicles. That's why most people, work a dead-end job. And that's why 60% of black women in the workforce never ask for a cost of living increase their entire career.
Listen, I want to say shout out to my girl Mitch the Bitch. She was on the pod last week.
Listen,
she actually told me about the cost of living increase. I didn't know anything about that. So shout out to the black women that's putting the younger black women on, and shout out to you, Mitch. I want to talk about, I forgot to talk about this when we were talking about TV shows, but sure. MTV has a new show called Help, I'm in a Secret Relationship.
What? Thank you.
Basically, this is a show where, kind of like Catfish, but they're confronting their sneaky links, trying to say like, why are we sneaky links? Why are you hiding me? Like in the clips that they were showing, it was like, yeah, and we went to his mom's house and he made me drop him off around the corner, or he won't let me be his friend on any social media, or blah, blah, blah. What type of person would sign up for this? What type of person is indulging in this? And I'm not talking about sneaky links. These are people that are confronting their boyfriends and their girlfriends.
Why are you hiding me? It got somebody else, or they're embarrassed to be with you. Like, this shit is simple. Like, I can solve this. It's kind of like when in the 90s, right? When I was in college, me and my best friend, we would watch Jerry Springer, right? And every time somebody had a girlfriend on the show, and Jerry would be like, hey, your boyfriend has a secret to tell you. Do you know what it is? He's got a surprise for you. You know what it is? And I'm like, bitch, it's Jerry Springer. There's no good that could come of this.
Either he's a midget and he has fake knees, okay?
Little person, he's fucking racist. You're such a bigot.
Or he has a girlfriend, or she's not really a she. Like, there's nothing good that comes from this.
No, none. But again, people fall for this shit. Like the fact that you have to do that and put somebody on TV, you've already got your answer. Like that's another thing. Ladies, stop giving dudes so many fucking chances.
Yeah.
What is that shit? Oh, but he's got a lot on him and he's a complicated bitch. He's not John Shaft. What do you mean he's a complicated man and you're the only one who understands him?
A lot of y'all too young to understand that, but let me out. Let me out.
Are you done?
Please. I also a part of it that I really don't understand is when signing up to go on said show, do you really in your heart believe this is going to be the therapy session, the kumbaya moment that you and your partner needed for this to go well? Do you really think there's going to be a positive outcome in this?
As a person who's produced reality shows, I will tell you that no, it's not. Our whole job is to create ratings. The rest of that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Iyanla fixed my life. Whose life has she fixed? DMX died.
Yo, all right, come on now. So, God damn, David.
I knew X, so that's no diss.
What?
But like, she's whose life did she fix? Name a person whose life has gotten better from Iyanla Van Zant.
Okay, plot twist. Who do you think had a more positive react on these people on these shows? Iyanla Levant or Monique from the Charm School?
Wow.
Yeah. You gotta pick one.
Monique
Me too.
hands down. Like,
me too. I think Monique.
I have met both Monique and Rhonda. I'm sorry, Iyanla. And that's her name. Look it up. And Monique is actually honest. Whether you agree with her or not, she's honest, and she actually comes from a spirit of wanting to help. She's not here for the agenda. Like people don't realize. Go look at the credits of these reality shows. There's somebody called a story editor. Those are writers.
Yeah.
Their whole job is to manipulate you into certain situations. Monique was actually out to help, and she still is. Like, think about it. Go back and look a couple years. Google this shit. When she went on the Breakfast Club to confront Charlemagne, and she would not call him Charlemagne. She called him Leonard.
Leonard. That's what got me.
Right? And not long after that, Charlemagne started making sure that everybody knew his name was Leonard McKelvey. And I've known Charlemagne for 20 some odd years. And like, he never used his name. Wasn't ashamed of it, just never used it. Because after a while, you got to step out from behind that character.
Yeah.
And that was one of the reasons I left the industry. Like, because the character becomes the thing that you become the product. So it's just like being a football player or basketball player. Ain't got time for that dumb shit. But Monique is pivotal in changing people's lives. Nobody's life has been fixed. Tamar Braxton's life wasn't fixed by Iyanla. Rick Ross's baby mama wasn't fixed by Iyanla.
I don't even hear about her anymore.
What about the dude with 37 kids? Did his life get fixed? I don't think so. What about them 37 kids? They still fucked up. They still get spent out with daddy.
They might have got a check or two. He could have been able to provide for a bit. So that helps us.
He wasn't even that famous. That check couldn't have been that big.
Well, all right.
But you tried.
I tried.
That's what y'all do. Y'all try to negotiate in relationships and try to look on the bright side. Y'all find silver linings when it's just aluminum foil wrapped up in some bullshit.
I said that though. I said, I feel like my knight in shining armor might just be like a retard in tinfoil. Like, I know.
Now we're calling them you've gone from midgets. You said midgets, chinks, and retards.
I didn't say the C word on air.
Oh, okay. That was off the air.
That was private. How dare you break the sanity of our conversations?
I can't. You mean the sanctity?
No, I said sanity. Because none of this shit makes sense.
Gotcha.
Okay, so I wanted to get into a new segment today, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like we kind of strayed from our segment, so we're going to work on getting back into it.
Let's get into it. I came for the mess.
New segment today. It's called Dirty Definitions. And basically, each week, I want to bring you guys different cool stuff that I pick up or that I've learned. It could be sexual positions, it could be sexual terms, it could be relationship advice, anything, right? So today's dirty definition is going to be, hold on, wait, let me pull it up. Today's dirty definition is going to be the sexual position called the Amazon. Have you ever heard of this before?
I have not heard of the Amazon.
Okay. So basically, the position is kind of like a reverse missionary, but the woman is like dominant. Because like the women are dominant in the Amazon. This is a real thing. All right.
Okay.
So basically, the person with the penis, because people.
The man?
Penises, person with the penis. It could be a strap-on.
Okay.
The person with the penis.
Person with the penis. You just keep saying it.
The person with the penis.
The person with the penis.
Penis.
is on their back,
Penis.
and they put their knees to their chest or Lamborghini their doors, however you want to explain it.
I got it.
And the woman gets on top and inserts it inside of her. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, I gave Kevin a picture, so if you look up here, you're going to be able to see it.
Oh my God. What is this like Usher when he says we're trading places?
Okay, so if you're not watching on YouTube and you're listening on audio,
God.
it's basically like the man is laying on his back with his knees to his chest, and the woman gets on top of him like in a tabletop position.
Like a bitch.
No.
China power.
Thank you. Am I describing this correctly? Do you have any other?
Yeah, I mean the fact that he's got one leg a little bit behind the other one is kind of telling, but and he's holding on to her hips. He's not even grabbing the ass. Like he's not trying to get full thrust in there, because I don't think he has the length to really like maximize the position. And I'm confused about the fact that she has a bikini bottom on. Like it's not even pulled to the side.
Well, actually,
YouTube, is that
no? I got this article from Men's Health, and they had supplied something that was not as vulgar as it could possibly be.
Okay.
So I was trying to figure out like what the pros of this was, and Men's Health says that it will facilitate eye-to-eye contact.
Have you heard of missionary?
Yeah, listen, I'm telling you what they told me.
Okay.
All right. Basically, this also can vary the stimulation on the clitoral and G-spot as well. And the person on top will have their hands free if they want to like manually stimulate their clitoris as well. They also suggested that the person on the bottom has good core strength, but if they don't, this will also help build that up. So fellas, if you want a six-pack, get on your back.
And to quote one Edward Lover Sr., "Come on, son, fuck out of here with that bullshit." Hey, this is some bullshit. Like, have you not heard of missionary? Like, have you not heard of like me just putting your legs up on my shoulders? So I mean, because at that point your hands are free. You can still rub your clitoris. You can still get that. I got the good strong core, and I don't look like a sissified little bitch. Like, there's nothing manly about that. Like, if you showed that sex tape, like I'm sorry, Vivid Video's not buying that shit. If Ray J turned that in, they'd be like, yeah, nah, dog. No, this is not going to do you no favors. He'd be like, if I had one wish. No, nobody's doing that. No straight man who cares about his manhood is doing that position.
Well, I just want to say, you have to say you as a straight man don't want that. This is a safe space, okay? There might be a straight man who would like to try this and who is curious.
Okay, I mean,
look at Dan. Dan is just worried about if he's flexible enough to do it. I'm not going to lie. I can tell.
Dan,
put it on Dan. Put the camera on Dan.
So I actually have some questions about like the placement of all this.
Right.
Because he's supposed to be inside her. That's
he's supposed to be inside her.
Because I mean, she needs to be forward from where she is.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make any sense.
That's not going to be like. That's just not going to be comfortable.
Unless he's got like a yardstick dick.
Yo,
like
Jesus.
It's a genetic. It's like a physical impossibility.
Well,
like,
you know what? Every position ain't for everybody. So we'll just add this to the list of the longers. I like, getting dick from the side. I feel like that's also for the longers, or at least the averagers.
Yeah.
I think that
I'm here for that.
Everything ain't for everybody, but if you're looking to spice it up, today's dirty definition is the Amazon sex position. And if you guys are listening, Google it while we're talking.
Fellas, I want you to write in and like put up a video and like send it to Stormy so that you can explain to the rest of us straight men what we're missing out on when you do this position, like what you get from it. I just want to know, and I'm just curious to see how many people email you.
Listen, and I hope they do, because I think this is fun. This looks like fun to me.
Ooh, she's got him wrapped up in like an accordion.
Oh man, that was a bomb song. I'm gonna play that when I get in the car. I think it was Tory Lanez. He had a song called Accordion back when he was making mixtapes.
I love Tory Lanez.
Yeah.
Justice for Tory Lanez.
I didn't say, okay, hold on. Let's 1 second. We gotta slow your roll, big player. So Dan, would you like to get into the edible portion of the show?
Yes.
All right. So the edible portion of the show is when people write in with their questions or something that they've seen online that they want to talk about, or just different venues, views, advice, opinions, right? So today's edible portion, I actually had posted it on the Chocolate Chip and Sip page to get some more, feedback from it as well. And I want you to tell me if the woman was wrong or if the man was wrong.
All right.
Okay. So he says, I asked this woman I've been talking to for a minute for $100. I get a, what do you need it for? When do I get it back? A whole bunch of questions. I planned a trip for us in the mountains in Colorado for 4 days. Hotel costs per night $200. White water rafting $150 per person. Zip lining $125 per person. Hot air balloon $250 per person. SUV rental $80 a day. Not to mention food costs. I had all this covered. Just canceled everything and got my deposits back. I don't need the $100. I was just seeing what type of response I'd get if I asked for it. I didn't ask when do I get my money back when I was planning a vacation. I was just handling business.
Right.
People don't think long-term tests failed, right?
Facts.
So I said maybe she was asking questions because she was lining her bills up and she wanted to be able to pay her stuff. Or maybe she just was full of shit and felt like she didn't want to give you the money, she a piece of trash. But I feel like the resounding response that I got from our listeners, this nigga was lying, he ain't had shit planned. He just was mad she ain't giving him $100. What you think?
I think that's a basic way of thinking. I think that's bullshit, and I think that you can tell a lot by. I don't even need to know what your bank account is to tell whether or not you broke. Right? People say, "Oh, he probably wasn't planning nothing no way." Yeah, because your man Lamondre was not planning nothing anyway. The thing of it is, I need to know. There is 90 Day Fiance, the latest season of 90 Day Fiance. Have you seen it?
I don't watch that.
You need to watch it. You got Discovery Plus. Listen, when you're done, you already done with stuff. Let's move over to 90 Day Fiance. This dude is a real estate guy. Like he's a real estate salesman. He's got plenty of money. He's got a nice house. He drives a dope car, and he has this girl coming over from. I'm ready to say it's not Turks and Caicos. Might be Barbados. Somewhere like that where there's black people, but just not American black people.
Okay.
Anyway,
shout out to Barbados, by the way.
Shout out to Barbados.
Yes.
Yet another trip you didn't pay for. Anyway, the thing of it is, she was like, what's your car look like? He's like, I'm not going to show you. What's your house look like? He's like, I'm not going to show you. So when he picks her up from the airport, he picks her up in a passenger van. It's like a work van because he flips houses, right? And he takes her to his childhood home. Right? And it's got paint chipping and all this stuff. He says, I'm doing this because I need to know if she's in it for me or if she's willing to help me build. A lot of times men who have money do not listen. Y'all talk about these dudes in my DMs. Dudes who have money have more of you in their DMs than you have of regular degulas in yours, right? So we have to find a way to separate the women from the little girls that just want to come up.
Okay, now can I say something, right?
Yes.
My point is, the time to do that $100 test was before you booked all that. Why did you do that if you didn't even know she was worth it? You know what I mean? That's why it's giving a little fugazi.
No, it's not fugazi. It's the test because we don't know where they are in that stage of the relationship. And the truth of the matter is, I think that this is a situation where he's looking to see whether or not he's going to take it to the next level. And she failed that test miserably, like many people do, because they're not looking long term. I'll give you an example, right? If my wife did not and was not willing to take the bus with me, right? It got so bad at one point we was frying sunflower seeds.
But this is the problem. The time to do the test is not once you've already booked. The time to do the test is when you're going through it. You know
but
what
if you've already made it and you don't know what her mentality is,
why book the trip?
It's not about why booking. It's not about the trip. You're missing the lesson.
Okay.
It's about whether or not you are a person that is worthy of me spoiling. It's a bigger situation.
But if you didn't know that, right? Or okay,
you shouldn't have to know that. Like, should a dude have to be told that he needs to open the door for you? Should a dude have to be told that you like somebody to tell you, hey Stormy, I hope you have a great day, or hey, what's going on in your life? How's your son? Like those things. Like it might not seem like it's common sense, but common sense is not common. I wrote a book called Common Sense Ain't Common for just this very reason.
Those are cultural cues, though. I think that those are things that is, prevalent in our society.
Have you looked at our society yet lately?
Yeah, but
Stop.
People know, like the man walks on the outside and you open the doors for women. Like, those are things that people know, right? So I feel like you taking somebody to Aspen for 4 days is not something that everybody knows. So, and I feel like, I'm not gonna lie, my answer to this is a little biased because when I have seen men do or give women tests, it usually has been, I don't want to talk to her no more, but I don't know how to cut her off. So I think that also might be coming into it. On top of that, I feel like we're too old for tests. I think there are better ways to get to know people. Like, I'm pretty sure her not giving you the $100 wasn't your first red flag. You know what I mean? Right. I think that just was the last straw.
Yeah, but the thing of it is, first of all, to your first point, stop expecting, and I told you this before, stop expecting man behavior from adult males. Just because you're 18 and can hold a gun and fight in a war does not make you a man. A lot of you take anybody with a penis as a man and you just say, you know, people with penises. Yeah, there's a difference between people with penises
with penises
and a man. And that's the difference. Like, manhood is something that is earned over time and has been battle tested, right? And if I've already done all the dope shit, if I've already got myself to a point where I don't sit anything less than first class, if not private, if I'm the person that when I go to the Sixers game, I get the box. When I take my kids to the circus, they're sitting on the floor and meeting Mickey Mouse afterwards. Like, you don't get to come along and benefit from all of that because you weren't in the gym with me shooting. Now, if you're with me while I'm building, like my wife was, different type of conversation. But I do need to be able to have a differentiator between you and the rest of the raggedy bitches who just want me for the fucking come up. And let's not act like there's not a difference between sex symbols, sex objects, and success objects. See how we get back to where I was in the first place?
It's a full circle moment and perfect timing as well. Dave, thank you so much for checking in with us today. Is there anything you want to promote, shout out, or drop? Let the people know about you. Where can they find you? Yeah,
you can find me at freegamealert.com, right? Because I'm always giving free game and I teach people how to, you know, quit their jobs because most of y'all don't like your fucking job. Like, can we just be honest? 80% of the heart attacks happen in this country between 8 o'clock and 9 on Monday morning because y'all don't like your fucking jobs.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm this close to selling pussy, y'all. I've had enough. What's
the over under on that? Like,
come on.
Listen, when a rich nigga wants you.
Just go. What else?
No, so you can also find me on my podcast, BusinessBullyShow.com, and I'm getting ready to drop a brand new product. So follow me on Instagram at BusinessBullytv. I am going to show you how to build a social media marketing agency with absolutely no experience that can make you 6 figures in 6 months.
They still ain't give you your other page back?
Oh, it's coming.
Y'all, if y'all don't know, IG has been treating Dave like a bitter baby mom.
Really has.
It disabled his verified page.
Yep.
So now he's on Business Bully TV. Follow at Business Bully TV.
Which is available on all streaming platforms, by the way. Chocolate Chip and Sip is coming to Business Bully TV.
Woo, woo,
listen.
Woo. Yes. My message is always going to be the same. May 20th. Make sure you guys head over to eventbrite.com. When, Dave?
May 20th.
Dan,
It's gonna be May.
That's absolutely right. Get your tickets right now at eventbrite.com or click the link in my bio. Click the link in Chocolate Chip and Sip bio. If you are listening on Apple Podcasts, continue to amazing 5-star reviews. And if you are in the tri-state area and looking for a great place to record your podcast, record your music, have a photo shoot, anything of the above, make sure you guys listen and check out Tri Jam Studios. Follow me on the gram at Stormy PEA at Chocolate Chip and Sip. We love you guys and we'll see you next week. Peace.
My pussy hurts.